We are back. A little message from the president himself of Cage Titans, Michael Pulver. Always puts on a phenomenal show here.
Yeah, pump a little energy into the crowd ahead of this fight, dude.
He got me fired up a little bit.
Yeah. It's a high-level fight, though.
Maybe I'll actually go back to jiu-jitsu class or something.
Ibrahima fall 3-0 on 11th round in the main, taking on boxing. And Ibrahima fall makes his walk first. This kid is undefeated, so much power in his hands, man, and he really believes in the power he possesses. He believes that anybody can put anybody out. Comes from a great school. Mike Rodriguez in his corner. He's also got Ryan Daly making the walk. He had the, I'm pretty sure world record of fastest KO, like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I think they said it was the world record.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
We were commentating that night.
Was that?
I know I was.
I don't think I was.
Were you out that night?
Yeah.
It might have been Jay Perrin in the booth with us. Either way, that was wild.
It was.
4 seconds. Well, now his teammates on deck. Ibrahima fall. And he's a creative striker, right? Like you said, he trains with a high-level group, and that confidence. You mentioned that confidence, right? When you have power, that's one thing. But when you have power and believe you can land it, that's another thing. And that's when it starts to become dangerous for your opponents.
Especially if you're undefeated, that confidence is riddled to a new level. And why wouldn't it be with the way he's been able to sleep his opponents as of late?
Yeah, this is Ibrahima Fall's biggest test for sure, in my opinion. I mean, Dan Nineve just coming off another title fight at MGM Boston. Big stakes there. Went the full distance. Ibrahima Fall has yet to see a judge's scorecard. So there's a lot of factors that play to make this fight interesting. But if he can take out Dan Nineve with the power that he says he has, man, the sky is the absolute limit.
That's gonna be a statement if he can come in here and do that tonight.
No doubt. And they got a little antsy at the weigh-ins too, man.
Oh, I actually saw that.
Yeah. Trying to get in front of each other a little bit.
Yeah, they wanted that camera space.
Yep. Heard an interview recently just talking about the mental space that Ibrahima Fall has, man. He says that if you're not first, there is no second, no third. He wants first in everything he does.
I think that's from Talladega Nights. If you ain't first, you're last.
Right.
I don't know if that's where he got his inspiration from, but.
Dan Nineve about to make his walkout in his second consecutive amateur welterweight title fight. Came up short in Boston, as you mentioned, but was so impressive in that performance. It was such a close fight that he's bouncing back against the undefeated Ibrahima Fall here tonight. And a quick turnaround, staying fresh in camp. Both these young men are primed and ready to perform here in front of us tonight. We're in for another delightful amateur title fight, the final amateur fight of the card.
He's got some sharp boxing too.
Working at Bernardo's Boxing.
Yes, and he went to war with Curly.
Yeah.
That was a great fight over at MGM.
Yeah, one thing that stood out to me about Dan, man, is that, obviously he's known for his boxing, coming from a boxing school, but right out of the gate in the first round against a high-level wrestler, Jay Curly, he snatched a single up. He's willing to take the fight wherever he wants to. Maybe he didn't have as much success with the wrestling, but he still fended off a lot of attacks that Jay Curly had in the grappling exchanges, got to his feet many, many times, and a lot of the time he had Jaden on the back foot.
Yeah, and he's a young guy, right? That was his only loss. I said it earlier tonight, I'll say it again, right? You win or you learn, they say. So I'm sure he learned a lot from that. First of all, he got a ton of experience.
Yep.
He got to spend, it was a 5-round fight, correct?
Yep.
Title fight, right? 5 rounds in there. That adds up for experience. And he has victories, 3 victories, right? That was his only defeat thus far. And he actually, even though we're talking about his boxing, he has 2 submission victories. Out of his 3, he has 2 submissions.
Psycho Killer approaches the cage. The tunes are flowing.
We've seen that well-rounded approach delivered through 5 rounds from Dan Nineve. See how that matches up against the undefeated foe he has ahead of him. Let's see if they touch him up. Looks like they do. Our tale of the tape is ready for this final amateur fight, brought to you by Coops Bar and Grill in Quincy, Mass. Catch me there next week.
All right, we got a welterweight title fight on the line here. Both men are 21 years old. Ibrahima Fall, the slightly taller guy at 6'2", opposed to Nineve at 5'11". Both coming in at championship weight of 170 pounds. And Ibrahima Fall having a 6-inch reach advantage of 79 opposed to Nineve's 73. Let's take it, Andy, to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for the next fight of the evening and our final amateur mixed martial arts fight of the night, brought to you by the United States Army Reserve. And this fight is for the vacant Amateur Cage Titans welterweight championship, scheduled for 5 rounds, 3 minutes apiece. Introducing to you first, in the red corner, this man is an undefeated amateur mixed martial artist with a record of 3 victories and no defeats. He stands 6'2" tall, and he weighed in at 170 pounds. From Dorchester, Massachusetts, he's representing Level Ground MMA. Let's hear it for Ibrahima Carnage Fall! And now, introducing his opponent, standing across from him in the blue corner, with an amateur mixed martial arts record of 3-1. He stands 5'11" tall, and he weighed in at 170 pounds. From Plainville, Massachusetts, he's representing Bernardo Boxing and Zichelli MMA. Make some noise for Dan Psycho Killer Nineve! And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this amateur welterweight championship fight is Tommy
He's wearing
Santana.
the yellow, and Dan Nineve is wearing the black. Here we go.
Man, Dan Nineve kind of looked like a Psycho Killer there for the intro.
Yeah.
Dan Nineve, I remember him as a kid coming to the Rivera Athletic Center with his dad, Bill. I remember getting sparring rounds in with his dad, Bill. So to see him growing up and being this competitive in the welterweight division, which has always been stacked.
Oh,
It's
man,
crazy.
these guys are throwing hard.
These guys are swinging.
Both guys exhibiting a chin.
Dan
Nineve,
decided to shoot for a takedown.
yeah, Nineve was crashing in there, and Fall started planting and throwing counters.
And Fall's a real dangerous guy to do this against, right? 2 of his knockouts, a total of lasted 30 seconds. He has a 12-second knockout, an 18-second knockout, and then a 3rd round KO.
Well, Nineve was taking the best shots from Jay Curley, too. Oh,
that
what a
was
right hand
big
from Fall.
Straight shot.
Countered the kick nicely.
Yeah, this is smart by Nineve to just mix up the game here. Show the full arsenal that you have against someone that's such a hard, high-level striker.
I agree.
But Ibrahima Fall doing a good job defending the grappling attack so far.
Fall's snappy with those shots.
Yeah, that he is, but and very
Nice sweep.
Very nice. He used the momentum. He just kept rolling with it, right?
Yep.
Oh, David snuck a knee into the solar plexus there. It did Fall.
And sometimes when you're in that deep of a takedown attempt, you kind of got to accept it. And
That right hand, that straight right hand, Nineve's got to be careful. There it is again.
yeah, he's countering the kickoff
Because
now
he's
too.
being very patient. and he's shooting it straight and snappy.
And he's trying to counter it off of Nineve's strikes, whether it be a kick or a punch. Ooh,
Oh my
big overhand.
goodness. Heavy strikes.
These boys are swinging. Both starting to settle in a little bit now.
Yeah, both have earned respect from each other. Nice right hands from Nineve and firing back his fall, but now his back's up against the wall.
Well, he was able to take fall down for a brief moment, but there was a scramble right back to the feet. Let's see if he can get him down and land in a dominant position this time.
Nineve staying tight, gets the slam.
Oh, again though.
Oh,
He's a little high. Fall's going to escape out the back door.
I have a triangle attempt here. He's got a head and arm.
Yeah, if he's escaping out the back door, he's got to be mindful, because if he's not careful, he could end up trapped in something, whether it's the arm or the triangle.
Nineve doing a good job of securing that arm there. He's keeping it in.
Nineve's safe. Yeah, or sorry.
Into an omoplata.
Oh,
into an omoplata with short time.
Oh, he might have it.
That is so deep. Oh my God.
Deep.
Oh,
Wow.
saved by the bell. Ibrahima fall, showing dexterity. I was like twitching in my seat.
He's got
I was
shoulder
bouncing.
mobility for days.
That
was nice.
That had me nervous.
Yikes, man. The rubber guard, the viciousness of the attack, and he was ready to break that arm,
When
too,
was the
man.
last time you saw an omoplata finish in MMA?
Nah,
it's been a while.
I can't
recall.
think of one.
Been a
I can't
while.
even think of one, right?
He was
there's a nice
forcing
head
on that
kick.
thing too.
Yeah,
And with short time, you know that
he
was
looked
trying
like a
to just-
psycho killer there. He
Yeah.
was ready to snap that thing.
Which arm was that? I'm curious. Was it
the
his
right-
right arm?
that
was
It
his
his
right.
right arm. So let's see if that affects him. Because that straight right arm.
Yeah, go back to the omoplata attempt. Throw that on the replay.
Yeah.
The ending submission attempt there,
I'm
because
just
that's a
impressed
rare
with
one.
his mobility. It's been doing yoga or something.
Now, here's where the questions start being answered here, right? How does Ibrahima fall do wrestling through the rounds? Right? I think we've only seen him get finishes in the first round at cage type physique.
He did go to a third round, but two of his other fights, a 12-second knockout and 18-second knockout.
Okay.
Right, so those are real quick. Ring experience, Nineve's got it all day. I mean, especially after that last fight.
Right, 5 rounds in the bank.
5-round fight.
High kick early. Nineve's throwing
These
here.
boys are swinging.
Yeah, there's no feeling out process here. Both guys taking them.
You know, one thing I'd like to see Ibrahima fall adjust here is, like, you know, he's so willing to counter and trade with him in a phone booth, but when your back's up against the cage, maybe try to circle your way back into getting some more control of the cage here. Getting yourself to the center.
Yeah, Paul's a guy that wants to fight at the end of his strikes. He doesn't want to fight in the pocket like that.
Yeah.
He's best at the end of his shots.
He finds himself on his back again here. A little less urgent than the past attempts as well to get up.
I noticed the same thing, right? Last couple times, he was trying to bounce right back up to his feet, and he was able to get those scrambles, use momentum. Now he's pushing the hips back, throwing some shots. There he goes. Just waiting
Strikes to get himself back up.
Hips.
And right back down. Yeah, he kind of just powered him down there.
Yep.
Clasped his hands and moved.
Once he had those locked, it was inevitable. Not really looking to pass or posture up here. Ibrahima Fall doing a good job of controlling the posture and mitigate any damage to be taken from this position here.
Yep, and to be shutting down that knee shield that Fall has here.
Now he's finally passed. Trying to cut through and mount again. He's getting close, but Ibrahima trying to time and escape with the underhook there. And he might just be able to escape, but now chaining the grappling attack to maintain control is Nineve.
Yeah, he's got
switching
that
his
good
grips. Yeah,
wrestling, head control.
he was just a little late to the jump of switching that choke grip, and Ibrahima Fall able to escape, but like the wet blanket he is, he's in on a double leg attempt again. This time much lower. Ibrahima Fall doing a good job of keeping the head stuffed. But you can see the breathing cadence of Ibrahima Fall. This is the longest fight of his amateur career, and easily the most taxing it's been on his cardiovascular skill set.
Oh, for sure. It's just exhausting pace, too, so far.
And with his record and what he's done with his striking, you know he enjoys to strike. So he probably loves to strike in the gym. He loves to go to the striking sparring, I'm sure. Right? This gets more exhausting. When you're
Great timing on a leg kick as he was trying to get up. He tripped him up there.
Nineve's got a little blood coming from the left eye.
Yep.
Yeah. And you know, a lot of the talk about MMA judging and whatnot these days is, you know, damage over control. You got to put work in. You got to be. They're really looking at the strikes and the damage. Personally, myself, I'd rather you jab me in the face 3 times and take me down and try to make me get back up. I'll do 3 jabs before I have to work. Might not do damage, but it takes away the soul. It takes away of the gas tank a little bit more than a couple of jabs do. So, that being said, in the written book, in the written rules of mixed martial arts judging, Nineve is just changing position and controlling, not actually doing damage, but look at the body language. You see the damage that's taking on Ibrahima Fall as he's breathing heavier, more taxed, not getting up as quick, not as fast with his movements. That's the damage of a grappling heavy attack.
Yep. Yeah, you can see the demeanors a little bit different from both guys here. Looks like Ibrahima's feeling the effect of these grappling exchanges. We go to the center.
And that's exactly what Nineve is doing. He's constantly taking Ibrahima Fall out of his element of comfort, which is striking in range. Big right hand, get a reaction.
Him a little bit.
Yeah, that woke him up. That was an anti-cup of coffee there.
Nineve is definitely hitting him with these swarming attacks.
Yeah, he's hitting him on the way in for sure.
I don't know if Nineve knew exactly how hard he had him hurt there.
I know, I was thinking the same thing.
I thought he was going to kick up the aggression there, but
maybe don't go for the takedown in that moment, right? But you can see each takedown, right? Fall is just, he's taking more and more time to start being explosive and to get up, yeah.
Yeah, and Nineve 6 for 8 in his takedown attempt so far. Ibrahima looking to use the cage to get up.
And now he's looking to chain that front choke grip up, attack Darces, Anacondas, guillotines. And he's got that front headlock position here, and he's trying to snake his arms in so he can start playing with his grips and force an attack. But Ibrahima Fall was able to get out of it before that lock happened.
That was good, that was big.
Big knee to the body, stopped that takedown attempt, and there's Ibrahima letting loose in range with a head kick. Looks like there's some swelling on the left eye of Nineve.
Yep.
Good jab.
Good counters after Nineve lands some strikes at range.
Yeah, both guys trading here. Big body kick out of Nineve.
And a right hand from Ibrahima Fall in that exchange as well. And tip for tack. Both guys tagging each other. Both guys have experienced immense pain in this fight. And another takedown right in front of the commentary booth here for Dan Nineve.
Nineve staying tight here, not letting Ibrahima get any space.
Yeah, he can't accept these positions for too long.
No.
It just adds up.
And sitting in half guard, sitting pretty. Fence post there. Nineve got an attack on an Americana, it looks like. Not exactly a lot of space with which to work to finish it, and it's a very high attempt. He's got to get the elbow down. But
Yeah, the cage's kind of preventing him from getting it in properly.
and just getting a little creative, giving him something to think about.
Yeah, you like to see him working for something.
This is what, round 3? Yeah, for round 3.
I think now, though, Fall's a little bit less explosive. I'd like to see Nineve start really laying some big punches, especially at the end of the round. You got 10 seconds, you go.
Kind of like we were
What's
talking
the
about the
risk?
last fight.
Yep.
The last fight with Thurman Hargrove against Carter Whitty is like you've already established that you could dominate, mount, get the wrestling. What are you going to do to take risks to really separate yourself in this performance? Because it's been dominant for Nineve right now. And not to say that Ibrahima Fall can't make the adjustments and make some changes, but so far he hasn't had an answer for the wrestling.
But I think when you're on top, right, the last 20 or 30 seconds, you have to go all out. Rain down some hammer punches. Like, worst that's going to happen, you might get pushed over in a scramble during a situation like that. But it really helps you solidify the ground.
Yeah, go stamp on it.
Stands out in the judge's eyes.
Yeah, look at the body language of Ibrahima Fall in there. His eyes are closed. Sinat Amoudi and Mike Rodriguez shaking the arms out, trying to motivate their young undefeated pupil to make those adjustments and find an avenue to victory after being down 3 rounds most likely.
Yeah, we entered the championship rounds now. This is where you really find out what you're made of here, right? How much will you have to put into your opponent.
And it goes back to the time in the cage.
Yep.
Dan just did this a couple months ago. He just went 5 rounds a couple months ago in a super grueling fight.
Yeah, so he's fresh off of a war like that. Ooh, nice jab from Nineve there.
Fall needs to get back to that straight right hand down the middle. He's having a lot of success with that in the early rounds.
You see him try to time an uppercut there as Nineve enters, but off target, and now Nineve in on another deep double leg attempt against the cage.
Over-under position here. There's some nice knees to soften him up.
Almost got him down. Fall finds a way to stay up on his feet. And he gets him back down. Same story.
Yep, same old song and dance for Dan Nineve here. Butterfly instep for Ibrahima Fall, trying to elevate the base.
And these takedowns are great,
Yeah.
but now I think we need some damage. He
Yeah.
needs to start doing some damage here.
The butterfly hooks are nice to try to elevate and get yourself either, get a sweep or get yourself up, but it's really tough when you're in a static position like that. It's nice when you initially get taken down and you use it right off the bat.
Yes, but he basically just slides, stand back, and then he climbs. But he's starting to get up now.
Cheeky uppercuts there.
Yeah, that was a hard uppercut.
He actually hit him with a few shots right there in that exchange.
Threw him into the rep for a second.
He's finding a way to get these shots to land.
Yeah, he's landing here.
Some of those are hurting.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to change something up,
Dan
because if he's
needs
fighting
to-
the takedown, he keeps getting taken down. So may as well try to score some points and
I like
annoy
it.
you a little bit.
Well, it helped keep him on his feet.
Yep.
Kind of did.
Dan actually needs to move his head now. Well, gets him down.
I mean, they're not as impactful as those Travis Brown elbows that you can throw when you're a pro. But, yeah, you can see a little bit of wear and tear on the face of Nineve from where some of those short punches landed.
Yeah, Fall's able to kind of generate a good amount of power in those short ranges.
Whipping it.
Whip it around,
Yeah.
a little circle.
I like it. I'm a fan of the work, Ibrahima Fall.
But he finds himself back here.
And there he is. There's that front choke chain attempt here.
Yeah, it's the
Ibrahima
trade-off.
Falls, he's been able to slip his head out before jeopardy really ensues every single time thus far this fight. But Nineve seems to always go to the well with it.
Nineve, right, get that arm out, start throwing some big shots.
Yep.
Try to land some big shots.
Ooh, shucks him off.
Right?
Oh,
his
head
head
kick off
got
the rip.
timed.
Oh, big
right
left hand.
Big shots at the end.
Wow,
And that's how
big
you stamp
swarm
a
at the
round.
end.
That's how you stamp at the end of a round.
Yeah.
Maybe too little too late. He was on his back the whole round, but it's showing that there's no quit. He's going for it. He's willing to take risks when he needs to, and when he gets an opportunity, he's going for the kill because he knows he's down.
Yeah, I still don't think it won him the round, like you said, but it was an exciting way to finish the round, that's for sure.
It's a good way to go into the fifth and final round as well. Moving up momentum, knowing that you're still in this thing. I love the head kick off of the exit as well.
That was nice.
Yeah, that's what started it off.
There's 3 minutes or less of amateur action here. We've been seeing a lot of judges' scorecards tonight. A lot of competitive fights going back and forth, and a lot of grit and determination showcasing these fighters here at Cage Fight 76.
Even matchups all around.
We got an ice spill here.
Who spilled the ice?
This might only help Ibrahima, honestly.
Right.
Get your stamina back up a little bit here.
If it was Fall's corner, you might think it was done on purpose to get some extra rest. But Nineve, this isn't actually ideal for them.
Giving Fall extra chance to recover.
Get the extra rest.
We got towels, we got napkins, everything's getting cleaned up, mopped
These
up.
things happen in MMA.
Like the ice skate, the UFC ice skate of 06, whenever that was. Joe Rogan versus the ice.
It doesn't hurt Nineve to get a little extra rest either. And then again, does this, something like this break Fall's momentum? Yeah, he's getting a little bit of rest, but he ended the round with good momentum. Nonetheless, we are back to action.
Fifth and final round, gold on the line.
A level change.
I think every round, Ibrahima's chucked that low kick to start.
Go low, go high.
Nice right hand from Ibrahima.
That's his most dangerous weapon against Nineve.
Yep.
He landed it most effectively in round 1, but takedowns have taken over.
Another takedown early.
Another one. No urgency by Fall.
Nineve staying tight on top. Ibrahima likes to snake his legs from bottom onto Dan Nineve, and that kind of disrupts his base.
Right, he tries to pull the base out from under him. But doesn't he need to lift and shield and create that space? Each time he kind of slides Dan out, but then Dan just slides right back up on. Now he's in half.
Oh, you can tell what they've been drilling in Kelly MMA between Thurman Hargrove and Dan Nineve. They're executing that top pressure, grappling dominance game plan. Flawless execution for both of their fighters. And Nineve almost gets bucked, goes for the arm.
Gets out. Oh, big shot.
He says, I want it.
Kick. I want it.
He says.
And another head kick.
What a chin on Dan Nineve. He just ate a front kick flush to the face.
He is tough.
Oh, he's been dominating. And then finally, Ibrahima Fall gets some huge explosive moments. Big hammer fist, couple kicks to the face. And now Nineve showcasing his
knockouts, right? Because it's that dangerous. All it takes is that split second, that moment, that one exchange.
He looked like he landed all of them, and Nineve just ate them.
Yeah. Fall still has that killer instinct. Any opportunity he gets, he's looking for the kill.
Yeah, that's all he wants right now is a little space. And if you're Nineve, you stay here.
Yeah.
Or at least, or try to get to the ground even better.
Both these kids just 21 years of age. They'll both learn so much from this.
21, both of them.
25 seconds left in the fight.
And Dan seems content to stay here. These are a couple frustration shots by Fall. That's not going to help him get out of this position.
5 3-minute rounds in the books for all 3 of our amateur title fights tonight, showcasing how competitive these divisions have been. And the story was the grappling dominance of Dan Nineve, the periodic attacks of danger from Ibrahima Fall, bunch of exchanges. They met in the middle and threw down from the opening bell, and this fight went everywhere.
I don't think that is the correct fight
Nope,
stats.
that don't look right.
That might be a round.
He landed more than he threw.
AI.
AI is useless without common sense.
That's a fact.
Damn right it is.
Well, it's still a tool that humans need to control.
Any intelligence that's artificial is like a flavor that's artificial. Get it away from it. I want real stuff. But rounds are in the books, and we will tally the scorecards and crown a new champion.
I mean, it's only going to pay huge dividends further into their career. Both 21 years old, just racked up another 5 rounds of title fight action. Huge fight for both guys.
Yeah, this is great experience for both of these guys.
Yep.
And sometimes those losses are important.
For sure.
And Fall's going to come back better. And he's going to work on areas of his game.
You need these fights. You need these types of fights. To learn about yourself, learn about what you need to improve on. Both guys, right?
Yeah, you know his coaches are going to be there. All right, we're going to be working on getting out of dominant positions.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about it for these two? Keep it going for our final amateur competitors of the evening. After 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this fight 48-47, giving you your winner by unanimous decision and your new Cage Titans amateur welterweight champion is Dan the Psycho Killer Nineve.
A lot of takedowns, a lot of control. Fall looked good. It's super dangerous, especially in that first round. And really any time that he had a little space and he was able to utilize the weapon. Very dangerous guy. Dan Nineve, super tough. And he was able to execute that game plan. Get him to the ground, keep him there.
Yeah.
For different decisions.
No, that was a great fight, man. Both guys tough as they come. Especially in the early rounds, man. These guys were throwing like everything they had in the phone booth, man. Like especially right out of the gate in the first round. It seems like Ibrahima might have just been throwing with everything he had, and with that on top of all the takedowns from Nineve, you know, see the gas tank kind of started to dwindle a little bit for Ibrahima. I know, great game plan out of Dan Nineve. He just right 4-1, sorry, as a record now. The new welterweight champ for Cage Titans. He's at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, feels good.